Obama's new big spending is what I'd like to talk about in today's Lunch Alert video. It's important for us to understand what Obama's trying to do in his new budget proposal. He's trying to break away from the spending caps that the Republican Congress put on him after the 2010 congressional victory. And he's trying to obliterate that whole part of our history and go back to the days of unlimited big federal spending. When Obama took office, he began with this gigantic stimulus package of almost $1 trillion, drove the national debt way up, and really imperiled the credit of the United States. If it weren't for the fact that everybody else was just as bad, we could have really suffered even more than we did. As it was, the recovery was postponed because everybody was so on tenterhooks because of what the impact of his policies would be, that nobody was willing to invest and to spend, and our economy remained in doldrums for years, year after year. Now what Obama wants to do is to break loose from those spending caps called sequester. It's one of the major accomplishments of the 2010 revolt and the Tea Party that in August of 2011, Obama had to agree to cap discretionary federal spending. Discretionary spending is about $1 trillion out of the $4 trillion budget. Half of it in defense and half of it in things other than defense. And as a result of those caps, which were called sequester, that spending was held down. And the federal budget really has not gone up by much at all over the last 3 or 4 years. The reason it hasn't gone down is, of course, entitlements are up, and those are not controlled by the action of Congress. You simply have the program and people sign up, and Obama's done everything he can to stimulate participation in those entitlements. But now he also wants to break the caps on discretionary spending. And by breaking them in the defense sector as well as the social sector, he's hoping to attract enough Republican support to be able to do that. But it is very important that these caps remain. It is very important that we do what we can to reduce and contain the size of the federal government. When Obama took office, federal, state, and local government in the United States was about 32 or 33% of our economy. At the peak, it rose up to 38 or 39%. Now it's on its way back down again. And it's very important that the United States be more like Japan, which has 31%, than like Britain that has 43%, or France or Germany that are in the high 40s and the low 50s. And the key to that is our ability to sequester and our ability to cap discretionary spending. Once a Republican is elected president, we can then deal with the other part of it, the entitlements, which have got to get under control. But ultimately, socialism is not an adjective or an economic system, it's a statistic. What percent of the economy does the government run? And when it gets to 54 or 55, like in Scandinavia, or the low 50s or the high 40s, like in Germany and France, it effectively is a socialist system. And there's not room for private investment, for private equity, for private development, for job creation. Everything begins to have to go through the government. And holding that share of the GDP that goes to the public sector down to the low 30s, about 20 of federal and about 10 of state and local, is very important. And those are the stakes in the budget battle going on right now. Thanks for watching.